fellow Galactic family. Josie Benavides reincarnated with an excellent program of activities in favor of self-enlightenment. Spirit failed several times in the Christian hosts were militated in other stocks, prepared in erraticity under the care of dedicated spiritual benefactors to repair commitment as he was concerned. Difficulties and disturbances that had won were rerouted, moral weaknesses have been under careful study, anxieties have received specialized treatment and a whole service program has been prepared with the consent of Hope Traveler. Reincarnated committed to the spirit labors, in charge of restoring the earth. The thought of Jesus, he too had just desecrated timely with reprochal conduct that was allowed, experiencing before the cradle, many psychic phenomena, so that the college served him valuable tool for liberating ministry. Magnetic baths were applied, concentration and bioenergy techniques exercises were provided in order to that found in the rugged spirit and faith, aiming to win over the evil inclinations of the past. Thus, in the face of safe measures, reborn in spiritualist home, drawing from the knowledge of doctrine since the early days, improving the fragile character in domestic examples. Early accustomed to living with the disembodied who appeared to him often, manifesting frequently, thus preparing emotionally for enriching task of dissemination and experience of spiritualism. Since the early years, as might be expected, it showed religious leanings, manifested in childhood, attending the spiritualist evangelization in Corburley doctrinally, demonstrating clarity and understanding the messages in special loquacity for comments when you were asked. At 14, he began to explain the doctrine of the comrades in the youth group, becoming natural leader esteemed by all. In the succession of time, become sympathetic and convincing speaker, then rounding up large number of supporters and fans of his brilliant oratory, which was improving through experience and ongoing studies. Becoming lawyer, he was linked to the public service, justifying the need for a living wage for survival and timely to devote himself to the ministry of disclosure of the third revelation. Due to the number of friends who labored around, it was encouraged to create a spiritualist society, which could extend the possibilities of doctrinaire service, and use the vast resources of modern media to the purpose for which it was proposed. Had no difficulty, because wealthy people, politically well placed, that you have resorted to the aid through the mediumship faculty of unquestionable value, were willing to help you without commitment, we did make a success. At first, fidelity to the spiritist codification was full and all endeavors aimed the light of conscience and the comfort of fearful hearts or suffered by the misfortunes of existence. Dedicated, looking learned the exulcerations of souls, involving them in affection and hope. Mediumship opened the doors to success and the enthusiasm of inadvertent people, guided by mocking spirits. He began to involve workers of the gospel, which slowly awakened the sleeping frivolous and foolish behavior, leaving dragged by conceit and self-worth. Although the occurrence remained devoted to activities that concerned him, always in labor resulting from the agenda oratory's commitments that led from one to the other hand, scarce in time for reflection, atonizes of moral forces remake, its special and pleasant style soon made school, and several supporters came to be her generous cut and bagilatia. As the years have doubled over each other, Joseph Benavides was moving away the suffering, the needy, showing displeasure at the excluded, which was renamed as the malodorous people society that surrounded him, smothering him with praise liars and vain references, took the place of socially unprotected, those for whom Jesus came, naturally without excluding the world dominators. Over time, though the cheerfulness that kept, began to cultivate inner irritation and boredom, Since everything was going nice and lavishly, you have disenchanted with their own aspirations, except in moments of exaltation of personality. Noble Spirit Henry, his dedicated mentor who accompanied him since before the carnal rebirth, realizing the danger he was in, the invigilante Pugulo not haggled aid verbal and written warnings, superior inspiration, various diseases in order to show you the organic fragility, some problems in romantic relationships, loneliness. I invited constantly to prayer and living with charity towards brothers, rear also with the disembodied suffering, which avoided, narcissistically, it is believed, to special medium contact only with high spirits, pursuing the nonsense, if allowed, the cult of the body, using the vogue resources, and through the serious issues vulgarity. Those of dubious humor, took esdrulous behavior, applauded and deceived himself, was up divorcing ennobled conduct, becoming verbally assaulting others, when she was upset, or fearing competitors, he who had done competitive of others, as if it were irreproachable, a missionary tailored to the fun and salvation of mankind. Feeling dismissed, the mentor warned him severely, explaining the seriousness of the situation and elected the risks that were around him. The obsession, as a result of past enemies' siege, who suffered his painful injunctions, settled him in mental panels and dogged by winning applause, fame. He left the loving protection of the generous guide, who booked his gift time for awakening. Becoming frivolous and imitating the victors of the world, has forgotten simplicity and self-denial, becoming selfish and tormented. For the public, kept cheerful, bombastic appearance, hurtful criticism, while, alone, gave way to anxiety and insidious depressive and obsessive process. I met the candidate for lighting in their heydays, and I remember the beautiful and uplifting spirit exhibition that was Carrier. Accompanied, too, soon after, the concerns of devoted benefactor rejected, as well as his loving warnings, but Benavides, like Epimetheus, let himself be seduced by Pandorus and by the wrathful Zeus, and succumbed to her charms and entanglements. I had the opportunity to review it recently. Plunged into the abyss of depressive disorder, at 60, fearing death that is not allowed to consider as it should, and that you bout hastily, the ancient great orator and medium, multiplier opinions, true showman, move away from doctrinaire hosts, and abandoned by fans before the cheering and now blame, succumbs to irremediable failure. The theory in this brilliant verb unfortunately not strengthened in practice, in the example of right living, defrauding responsibility and deluding themselves with the fantasies of childhood imagination. Brother X